All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. And as we continue to roll through things leading up to the upcoming college football season, I've talked about my conference by conference breakdowns. And last, but certainly not least, is Conference USA. And of course, unfortunately, depending on how you want to view things, Conference USA is set to be a revolving door here for 2025. We know that Louisiana Tech is going back to the Sun Belt. We know that Missouri State and Delaware are joining Conference USA this year as new members. We also know that UTEP is leaving Conference USA in favor of the Mountain West. Now, last year we saw Jacksonville State win the Sun Belt. Pardon me, I said Sun Belt. Please excuse me. Conference USA for the first time in their program's history. But the Gamecocks are going to have an uphill battle as they look to run it back this year. Why? Because first and foremost, usually when when smaller schools have success, what happens? They lose their head coaches. Okay, and let's not even talk about everything that's going on with the transfer portal right now. But nonetheless, Jacksonville State lost their head coach in Rich Rodriguez as he went back to an all but too familiar place for him in West Virginia. So now in steps former Auburn defensive coordinator Charles Kelly to try to come in here and replace Rich Rod and keep the momentum going. Now you look at the Flames of Liberty. Liberty, they're looking to win the Conference USA for the second time in the last 3 years. They lost their quarterback, Kadon Salter, to Colorado. That was big. They still got some talent on this team. And Liberty has been one of the better teams in Conference USA since they've joined this league. Okay. We saw Sam Houston State miss out on getting to the championship game last year. Why? Because they lost to the two teams that did get to the Conference USA championship game. And I'm talking about Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky. Will things be different this year for the Bearcats? You got a senior quarterback and Hunter Watson leading the way. I talked about Louisiana Tech. This is their last year in Conference USA before they go back to the Sun Belt. Keep an eye out for quarterback Evan Bullock as well as tight end Eli Finley. They got some talent on the defensive side of the ball for Louisiana Tech as well, with the likes of Kobe Fields and Jacob Fields. Kobe Fields at linebacker, Jacob Fields at safety. Um, I talked about Western Kentucky and the Hilltoppers. They got to the Conference USA championship game last year. Okay, can they find a way to get back there and win it this time? I think the Hilltoppers are definitely going to be in the conversation for the Conference USA as this year goes on. Same thing with UTEP. What can they do on their way out the door in Conference USA before they head to the Mountain West? I'm looking at this league right now, and Conference USA has been decimated. Okay, due to realignment. I mean, you think about what Conference USA was about 30 years ago, for the most part, and what it is now. Okay, and basically all of the schools that were there, for the most part, are gone, and for most of them right now, they're in power conferences. You just have to sit back and wonder what could have been for this league, but nonetheless, here we are. I think this is still going to be a very competitive year for Conference USA. Like I said before, Liberty has been a program. They're always in the mix, to win this league since they joined the conference. You've got to keep an eye out for Sam Houston State. Like I said last year, so close to getting to the conference championship game. You have to look at Western Kentucky. I think Louisiana Tech will be an improved team over last year. They went 4-4 in this league. They went 5-8 overall. Middle Tennessee State, are they going to be able to improve? We saw the Blue Raiders only go 2-6 within Conference USA a year ago. Jacksonville State, how much is the loss of Rich Rodriguez really going to hurt this team. But I think when it's all said and done, I truly think the three teams to keep an eye out for at the top, the creme de la creme, if you will, for Conference USA, I think it comes down to Liberty. I think it comes down to Sam Houston State, and I think it comes down to Western Kentucky. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to tip the scales, if you will, in favor of Liberty. I think they have what it takes to win Conference USA for the second time in 3 years. I think this league is going to be solid. Of course, unfortunately, it's going to fly under the radar for the most part because, people are going to look at the big boys of the college football world. And I'm talking about the schools from the power conferences, this, that, and the third. But nonetheless, I'm a little bit different. I love college football. I want to talk about everything. And this time I'm dedicating this one right here at Conference USA. But nonetheless, when it's all said and done, I like Liberty to be the last team standing in this league. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw on this podcast, you know what to do. Just hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. Like I always say, it's greatly appreciated. Also, as we continue with our countdown to the upcoming college football season, we talked about all of the conferences, talked about the top 25 at this point. Now, for the next installment of this program, definitely be sure to check out this channel later on tonight as I will be discussing who I feel are the head coaches going into this season who will or should be on the hot seat. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, you give me that follow, I will give you that follow right back. And the same goes for Instagram, where you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you're on Facebook, you can check us out at the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports debating groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, and I'm saying thanks once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.